All right, we're live. Day 4 post show. Yeah.
Dumpster fire.
Eric said there's nothing positive in this title. And I promised when I would start doing these daily kind of diaries that I would tell the truth and I would truly just talk about how the day went and how things unfolded, because I don't believe that always sharing the highlight reel and always sharing the wins and always finding the positive. Sometimes I think that's maybe not true advice. I mean, yes, you should always find the positive, and there were positives today. Where did we go? We went to
The Diagon Alley and Inspiration
for Diagon Alley, which was very cool.
Yeah.
We went to see Tom Riddle's grave. We didn't see Evidently Potter grave was in there too. We didn't.
Yeah, we missed the sign on the way in. It told you like the 6.
And we were kind of short on time because I was running to a show. And speaking of, there's the boss. And then speaking of running to a show, I went to support Pierre, who came to my show. And there's like a little bar area outside. And of course, when I'm in the show, Phoebe Waller-Bridge comes by, and Eric and Oliver got to meet Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Or I don't know. You talked to her? You said my wife really likes your work, and she's inspired by you.
She's doing a one-woman show here.
Because of course, the day I'm having, of course, I go in to see a peer show, and then they run into Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Of course, that's how the day is going to go. But their smiles are quite adorable. So it's a very cute picture, and I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge because she's humble, she's down to earth, she's just a great person. So we had a great day in terms of going and sightseeing, and then I went to see a friend's show, and it was fabulous, and I loved it. And then we got to our venue. We got to our venue for our show, and I would like to just talk about this from a business perspective, because you all know that we run our marketing business in addition to me doing the show. And I look at these kinds of things like a business. I look at this show like a product or a service. Talking about it, marketing it, delivering it. And it's frustrating because, many reasons. I always joke that I don't trust people. Like, I don't trust people. And I think that happens a lot in our industry, that people don't trust people because they get sold the dream and then they get delivered crap.
Yeah.
And that's the experience that we're having. When we spoke to the booker of this venue that we selected, we had a lovely call. We had two incredibly lovely conversations. My peers are in this venue or a part of. They have several theaters. There's like 6 different theaters in this, venue. And, it's a highly recommended venue. We had a great talk with the person that runs it. A lengthy talk. We asked all our questions. We were assured everything was expert quality and everything was perfect and everything was amazing. When we went with them because they have out here, it's like the wild, wild west. Like, you have to get your own tech, you have to get your own publicity, you have to get your own space, you have to find your own props, like you have to bring everything, or you have to have a stage manager or have a producer or do whatever. I didn't want to hire a producer, ironically. No offense to those who have hired a producer, because I bet you're having a fantastic time. I didn't want to hire a producer because I didn't trust that a producer was going to take care and do their job and do the care and concern, and look at it with the care and concern that I look at it.
But even that, you did.
And I did talk to somebody about one producer, and they said some shady stuff happened behind the scenes. They wouldn't hire a producer again.
Very expensive.
They're very expensive. And I thought, we're quite capable of doing everything a producer, because we had to do it so much because we traveled the show so much last year. I'm like, we're good. So we had this just, incredible talk with the venue guy. And we chose the space because it's great location. They have their own press. They have their own tech. And it was kind of like what we provide. Like, it was like a done for you. It was all inclusive. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. It was an intimate space, which I do still think is good.
Yeah.
For a solo show. We were supposed to have 14, but we only had 8 tonight. For a solo show, you don't want a theater of 100 when you're only going to be getting, 10, 20. If you're lucky, some people are getting 1 person, 2 people. They're canceling shows. Anyway, we got there. And I walk up to the girl and I say, how we doing? How we doing on time? And she goes, and I'm like, what? We're 20 minutes behind. And then she goes like this, we're 20 minutes behind. Do you want to talk to the manager?
She knew we were coming.
Because we complained other nights because we've had reviewers complain. We've had people had to leave early. So evidently an elevator went out and they had to have elevator people come in. Shows couldn't load in and out their stuff. They had to have the elevator company come in. And when the elevator company came in, they had to shut down the theater and they still didn't fix it. But they're supposed to fix it tomorrow morning, they tell me.
Yeah, we'll see.
So first of all, no, sorry. No, we realize this is stressful.
We're going to offer something to
apologies.
your patrons.
No, just like, yeah, we're 20 minutes late. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to the manager. Tell me what's going on. Like, just completely like dead inside. We're 20 minutes late. You want to talk to the manager? I'm like, no, forget it. So as a performer, I'm always there ready to perform. And now there's this, it ended up being 30 minutes. Now there's this 30-minute holding period where I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to warm up. I'm like warming up on the premise, talking to people. People are saying
outside the bathrooms.
Outside the bathrooms. I'm going in the bathroom. I'm like hiding. I'm coming back out. People are talking to me saying I'm going to Too Big for Britches. And I'm like, hi, that's me. And they're like, oh my God, it's so great to meet you. And,
Why are you
and I'm
here?
like, it's just the most awkward thing. So that was never discussed with us, that there was no dressing room. So that is a question. If anybody is watching this, I thought, again, you know what they say when you assume.
Yeah, make an ass out of you and me.
Why wouldn't there be a dressing room in a theater for a performer? So there's no dressing room. So we get there 20 minutes late. Fine. So we get in. I'm doing my warm-ups. I'm bouncing. I'm singing my moms. I'm staying in my routine. I'm ready. I'm ready because I'm a professional. I know the show. I'm good to go. So they get us in. And then Eric sees the tech guy, completely different person, never had before.
We met him when we did our original tech day.
Because there were two of them, and then they sent him off.
And she was doing, the girl was doing the sound, and he was doing the sound, and she was doing the lights. And she had it. Like as soon as we got there, boom, she opened up the script. She started doing the lights. She was checking in with us. He was literally just sitting there, and he had a very strong English barrier.
Yes.
And he would nod a lot and he would say yes, and that's about it. And we said that day, we're like, I really hope that we don't get him. Now I don't feel confident in his ability to be a tech operator by himself.
And keep in mind, we paid for tech.
Yeah, it wasn't free.
This wasn't free.
Not included.
We were paying them to do a job. And in the tech rehearsal, they said you may get a different tech each night. And I said, I have a problem with that. And they said, oh, no, don't worry. Famous last freaking words. Don't worry. The techs will all be briefed thoroughly about your show. They're all professionals. They will be briefed thoroughly. They got it. Don't you worry. Now, again, I have trust issues. But what am I supposed to say? Okay, if you're telling me you're a professional,
you got this.
You're telling me you got this, why would I think any differently that you don't? So we go down, we start setting it up, get the computer, we load in. The space is like 4,000 degrees. It's so hot in there because it's in a basement and they don't have AC. So we go in. And we're ready to go. And my very first cue, I go and I sit on I'm driving, and I sit on the bench, and he's on page 2 of my script. So I sit and I'm ready for the first cue, and he puts on a song. There was no way. They've screwed things up in the past, and I've been able to work around it so the audience would never know that things were screwed up. There was absolutely no way that I could work around that one.
Yeah, he skipped like 3 minutes.
He skipped a whole page.
Yeah, he skipped like 3 minutes of the show.
And my show is like bookends. Like there's a full circle moment that happens in the beginning and the end that repeat. with different outcomes. That's plot twist, spoiler alert, not to give it away. So you can't, the show has to run the way the show runs. So he put on the song that's like 3 minutes in on page 2. And I just went, no, that's not the right cue. I said, you have to go back to the beginning. And then he looked at me like a deer in headlights, and then he went back. And then we started the show. And I'm like, oh dear. Then the second light cue or whatever, the very first time Shane comes on the scene, he completely missed the light cue. Then we were going through, he probably missed like
about 7 or 8
light cues. Like the lights just didn't change. They didn't do what they were supposed to do.
And audio too. He missed the baby cue.
Audio. And during the show, I could hear he was turning the pages, so he was lost. I stick to my script. Some performers are like, oh, I'll ad lib. And I'm like, you're a tech person. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you're a tech person. Must hate you.
You're a nightmare.
Or you must not have a lot of cues. I literally go word for word for word. Like, I don't miss a beat. I know my script 100%. And I never go off script.
And it's also, I don't want to say it's meanly, but it's silly proof. I'll say it's silly proof.
Yes.
We like even Oliver could probably run Lisa's show, and I bet he probably wouldn't make any mistakes.
Like I don't think this gentleman, I don't say this as I'm just gonna say it like it is. I don't think he speaks English. So I don't know if he can read English, and I don't know if he's able to follow English. Yeah. And my show does move fast.
That's what my gut says.
My show moves fast. Like there's a lot of dialogue. Like there's a lot of things happening other than the songs where they get to take a break. So that was like, we completely started the show. We had to like restart the show essentially, which was horrible. And then he kept missing light cues, missing sound cues, and then just the constant flipping of the pages. In the back of my mind, I was like, he doesn't have, like, he's lost. He doesn't know where he is. And that is a performer's worst nightmare, when your tech doesn't know where they are in the script and they're supposed to be hitting lighting and sound cues. Like at one point I thought I was going to have to be singing the songs a cappella, or I was literally going to have to be telling him like, this is the healthy love part, play the song. So that is the absolute worst experience I've ever had as a performer ever. Now, me on the other hand, my performance how
solid.
So all this is going through my head that I'm like, he screwed up, the lights aren't right. There's a part where a baby cries, and I was like doing the motion for a solid like 10 seconds, and then I started crying like a baby.
Yeah.
The sound, because he didn't do the sound cue. Yeah. So this is going through my mind, and
I knew I couldn't do anything, because by the time
I'm saying my performance.
Oh, your performance was 10 out of 10, no doubt. There was you would have noticed it. Like you even said that after. Like we talked to a couple after,
and it was 69 minutes. I was 1 minute under.
They only noticed the beginning was wrong, obviously, because Lisa literally said, "Nope, that's not the right cue.
We can't start the show there. Yeah. That's not where we start."
Other than that, nobody knew anything.
And the couple stayed after. There was like an older couple that stayed after to tell me how much they loved the show.
Yeah.
And they said to me, "You're phenomenal." And then they said, "You did incredible given the circumstances tonight."
Yeah. Yeah, that would rock so many people. They'd be gone. That would throw them off completely.
I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm and I said I'm going to keep it real on this thing. Like, I'm really having doubts about how I'm going to be able to do. What do I have now? That was 18.
Yeah, 18 more shows.
I have 18 more shows, and I don't
17.
know. Or 17 more shows. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
How do you trust?
I work too hard. And I'm sure as a client of people, when you trust business owners or you trust people, you feel the same way. It's like, this is my livelihood. This is my dream. This is everything to me. Like, I've worked way too hard to let amateurs just come in and have zero customer service, have zero remorse, and have zero accountability.
Yeah.
So of course we will be drafting a letter tomorrow again to the guy that we booked with, saying this, I never want that tech again. We can't have this happen. Like, if I had a reviewer tonight again, that would have been horrible. we're paying for photography. Photography, I guess it won't matter too much, but videography, we're paying for a videographer to come out. Could you imagine if that's the show that they tape? Or I can't use that. I can't repurpose that. I can't sell that. I can't
throw that money in the garbage.
You know, so I'm like, as we were walking home, like, I'm like, what could we have done differently? Like, where did we go wrong? Like, what's the accountability on our part? And I don't know. Like, we were assured and contracts and like we were good. You know, we trusted. And it's just not. It's interesting because we were chatting with another show that was there, and they said on opening night they had to refund, which I think is BS because it's not the performer's fault. They had to refund their patrons because the same place where we're at, they were running 20 minutes late on their opening night, and audience member said, "I'm not sticking around for this.
I want my money back.
I want my money back. I'm not going
supposed to start at whatever time, and it's 20 minutes.
So they had to cancel their show and refund it because all the audience wanted their money back.
Is that what they did?
Yeah.
They canceled the show? They
canceled their opening night and they refunded everybody. And they're from Texas. Yeah. So they're, like me, paying boatloads of money to come and put up the show.
And there's a team of 5 or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah, they're like a full cast with a whole production team. But I'm like, that's not your fault. And they're like, what can we do? We had angry patrons. And that's the hard part is everything, like those reviewers with me, everything falls on the artist. And it's not it's not in our control. None of what happened tonight is in my control. Yeah. And that's hard. And that's really hard. So I mean, I'm gonna shake it off. I can't bring that into tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna write the email. We're gonna say our piece, and we're gonna see what he says.
Yeah.
And I guess tomorrow's another day. I mean, the audience, again, people stayed. They said they loved it. They said it touched them.
Oh yeah.
I had a good response. Like I was able. I mean, if nothing else, I guess I'm learning as a performer. You know, how to navigate horrible situations. It's just hard when you're in an amateur world, you know. And I think that's, for me as a business owner, we'd be out of business if we handled our business that way.
Yeah.
If we had no customer service, we did not care. We made a bajillion mistakes all the time, like big mistakes that cost people money.
Didn't fix them.
And didn't fix them. Didn't try to fix them. We'd be we would all be out of business.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we said. Like, we get that people make mistakes. But when you make, like we talked about, we're like he made at least 8 mistakes out of 22.
And they were big ones.
Out of 22 possible mistakes, he made 8.
You shouldn't make any.
That's huge. Come on. Like,
when you're a tech person, you don't
like,
a third. It's not okay to make a mistake. There should be 0 mistakes.
A third of the whole show was mistakes.
And again, as a performer, if it's not a big mistake, like even when the one put the disco light on at therapy, that was weird. But the audience was paying attention to me. They weren't really like noticing. Yeah. So that was a big one, but it wasn't detrimental.
Well, and it was a different disco. It was like a white and pink.
It was weird. So but this one, starting the show on page 2, that's a ginormous screw up. Like having to restart the show.
Yeah,
that's not even like restart it. It didn't start. Yeah. He started the show on page 2.
Can you imagine like going to like a Broadway show?
That's like
wait. Sorry, we started on song 2 instead of 1. Yeah.
That's like putting on a movie and starting at 5 minutes in. No. So
anyway,
I'm really frustrated. I'm really upset, and I'm gonna work my way through it, and we're gonna say our piece, and that's that. This is a tough go. It's a tough go out here. It's a tough. Same. I was asking the other group. I was like, "Did you get any critics to come out?" And they were like, "No." And then he joked, and he was like, "Yeah, I think you need to pay the critics to come."
That's what I said.
And I was like, "Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right." I'm trying so hard not to be jaded and cynical and not trusting people, and you know, I'm trying really hard not to let that.
There's good in this world.
That there is good in this world, and I'm sure there is, but today was an absolute like dumpster fire times 10. That should never happen to any performer.
Yeah.
No performer should ever have to have that.
No.
And I work too hard to. The show matters, and it has to be treated with the same love and concern that it deserves. So, I think that's just the update.
That's it on tonight.
That's the real update for today.
Let's hope tomorrow's better.
This is the stuff I think nobody talks about. Like, it's really easy to celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about the lows. And it's even harder when you're at the top of your game and you're being met with the lows from everybody else. Like there was absolutely nothing differently that I could have done tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard for me. Short of going over there and pressing the godforsaken buttons myself, I can't do that. Yeah. I have to trust. You have to have synergy with your tech team, and they have to have you.
Yeah, they have to have your back.
And these people don't have me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm in a place where they promised me, and we have contracts, and we were sold the dream, and it's a nightmare. They don't have us. They don't have my back, and they don't care.
No.
They're like an employee. They're like clocking in, clocking out, gone.
Yeah.
And
they're paid. They're paid in full.
Yeah. That's the thing before you come out here too. Every single provider has to be paid in full.
Before you even start.
Yeah. Same with PR. I was like, are you done on August 1st? Or are you going to try to get more reviewers for me?
You never got an answer.
No. Well, she said they all have your press release. I'm like,
great.
Oh, and then you're done? Oh.
I think she went to all the shows. She's probably going to go to all her shows this week.
Lovely lady. Same thing with the tech guy. I'm sure he's a lovely human. He seemed like a lovely human. He even said, "Oh my God, you have so many songs. Songs so good."
So good.
I'm like, "Thank you, but can we talk about the dumpster fire that just happened?" I'm sure he's a lovely human, and I'm sure we see that when we hire people and you have employees, and they're lovely. Sometimes they are lovely people. Well, that doesn't mean that they're good at their job or they care about their job or they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
So more to come. We'll keep you posted if you care.
Tomorrow goes.
How this goes. But that's been the journey today. And I don't know. I'm trying to find something positive to say, but I'm not sitting in positivity right now.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. It's very hard. It's hard to stay positive in that environment. And like I said earlier tonight, I said the crappy thing is tomorrow, we're gonna go feeling like this, right? Who's it going to be?
How late are we going to be?
How late are we going to be?
Is that going to push people?
Do we show up? Yeah, and we're showing up almost an hour. We're leaving our place almost an hour early to triple ensure that we're here's our thought. We're actually preparing that even if we miss the bus or the bus doesn't show up, we still have enough time to catch the next bus.
Yeah.
And make it on time.
Because buses are untrustworthy and erratic.
Oh, this one showed up early. Oh, you missed it. Oh, this one's late. Oh, you missed it.
Broke down.
They don't care about you. If you get on the bus, good. If you don't, well, sorry, good luck. So that's the thing that sucks for us too. Is now tomorrow's we're already preempting that tomorrow and going, who's the tech person going to be? How late are they going to be? What are we going to do about that time? Are people going to get ticked off? Where's Lisa going to go if they're running 20 minutes late? Because she can't be on front of house. It's busy. It's there's 30, 40, 50 patrons waiting for shows because the shows are late. Mm-hmm. So all these people are showing up for their shows going, they're walking around going, what are you here for? Oh, yeah, they're 20 minutes late.
And they're not happy either. Nobody's happy that everybody's running late.
Everybody's like, well, I kind of planned for being done at X time, whatever they're doing. Anyway.
Because people are catching buses and going to other shows and going to dinner and meeting other people.
Or meeting up for drinks or whatever.
You are on a schedule when you're here at Fringe. So I'm going to actually have an ask. I was going to say, normally I'm the one always giving out positivity and giving out good vibes. But I'm going to ask you, what do you do when you're in the shit? Yeah. You tell me what you do. Tell me if you have any advice or
Yeah, suggestions on
Suggestions
what to do
or
in this situation, or
I just
yeah,
I don't know. I know kicking myself and saying like, should I have asked more questions or should I have not trusted or do I become cynical? Like all that doesn't
doesn't
like
help.
that doesn't help.
No, you can do that when you get home,
You know,
but
it's
not
but I don't
here.
think I 400 shows. It's not like I was saying I could see if this was like some because they do have like I don't know how many venues there are.
Oh yeah,
And
there's
I'm like, I could see if like this was
80.
some like pop up in a pub. Like I could see if this was like some backyard venue.
Yeah,
This is a very well trusted, well known venue
yeah.
that's been operating for many years and claims there's like the big four venues which wouldn't even give me a chance. They didn't even want my show because they want you to have a name. Evidently, I didn't have a name for
Even
myself.
that, I think
I don't know what
I
it
think
is
that's
anyway.
another pay to play. I think
Yeah.
if you don't have a producer, they
Who
don't even
knows?
listen.
Who
to you.
knows? Like the big venues were just like they weren't even interested. And then evidently where I went is supposed to be like one rung under. Like they're trying to compete and get up there with the next big venue. So it's not even like it's like big venue, you know, like great venue, good venue,
Medium
okay
venues.
venue, shady venue. And I'm in like the shady to okay venue. I'm in like the good venue,
Upper
like
tier.
great to good.
Yeah, you're in the top 5.
So to be
out of,
treated like this, I've
150.
never experienced it in my life. And it's so hard when you prepare so much and you put your heart and soul into it and it matters to you and it's your dream and it's your vision and it's your life and you just keep getting let down by everyone. Like today I just kept like thinking to myself, like, why can't I win? Like why can't like I'm doing my part. Like, why can't I meet something on the other side that helps me win?
Don't have the answer for that.
I mean, the win is the participants. The win are the people. The win is the audience. You know, there were a few that were dead inside tonight, but there
was
were
a couple dead inside.
But
I think they still liked it.
Although I will say, I went to my friend's show, my newfound friend, and I wouldn't say I was very introspective. Like I was a very introspective audience. I wouldn't say I clapped, I cried, I clapped, I laughed, but I wouldn't say I like was
over
like
the top
over the top.
yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's interesting. Someone said to me, "Don't go to Edinburgh Fringe because all they care about is comedy," and I didn't want to believe that. And I'm not saying I'm 100% set on this, but I am seeing a trend that the stand-up comedy and the
shock and awe,
the nudity,
any nudity,
and the big boobs and the sex and the
gimmicks, lots of gimmicks.
You know, like
if you have 500 costumes and
like that is what
you're doing
is
a puppet
drawing
show
the crowds and
circus.
Like people just want to. I shouldn't say I can't lump all people together because I am getting a review of my show, but it's like most people just want to get drunk and laugh, or most people just want to have a drink and go out and have fun in the theater.
They want to be entertained. They don't want to think. They don't have to think. They don't want to be challenged to cry or to feel emotion or to think hard. They want to show up and just laugh, or I don't know what else.
Like we're just such a
or be entertained.
Like, be entertained. Yeah, which is okay.
I get that.
I'm not saying that's bad.
Yeah,
it's
I
just,
get that.
Again, it has me questioning like, where's my place in the world with this piece of work? Because when it touches the right audience, it works.
Yeah.
Like when I get people there that come and see me afterwards and tell me how important this is, it means everything to me. You know,
and maybe Edinburgh isn't the right crowd. It's not the right people.
And and yesterday I was even, I know we should end because we're going late, but I mean, yesterday I was even like, should I write a stupid show? Like, should I should I pretend to be Adele and do a biopic about her?
There's one of that.
You know, there's Adele, there's Celine Dion, there's like Amy Winehouse, there's so many, right? But
John
I'm like,
Lennon.
I'm like, should I? Oh yeah, that was really funny. The reviewers that gave me the 3-star, they went and reviewed another show They got like all 5 stars last year,
Tango.
and they gave them a 3-star.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The worst part is, oh my god!
I got to see a preview of it, and I was like, no,
the worst part
that is
like their biggest
hiccup
or complaint.
They couldn't see well.
their feet.
They couldn't see their feet because of where they
Because
sat.
of where they sat.
I'm like, since when do we tick off
Critique
stars from the artist of that? Like, since when do we
How is that?
take it out on the artist?
How is that have there
And
anything to do
man,
with the performance?
so they were like this like couple. They had to have been in like their 40s, but they did the tango. It was like a mime tango show, and she just walked past me. And another one, her and I kind of like nodded at each other.
Feel her energy.
Like pro meets pro kind of thing. And again, I don't say that with ego. I say pro in the sense of there is work, and there's sweat, and there's blood, and there's tears behind
them.
That. Like there's to be a dancer, like they were like elite dancers. And just the way she moved, and just the way they walked, and the way they carried themselves. And then when we saw a little bit of the show, I was like mouth open, like, and they got 3 stars. So again, that's just making me question, since when did we move to this like numb out society that just wants to laugh at sex jokes? And like they were telling me this one 5-star show was like, it was a improv comedian thing, and when they voted who was the worst comedian, and then the worst comedian got punished, they either got electrocuted, they got hit by paintballs, and they were showing like the bruises from the paint. Prior. And I'm like, I get that that's funny, like I get it, I'm sure it's hilarious.
It's like Jackass.
It's like sadistic. Yeah,
it's like Jackass.
And I'm like, I get it. But it's like, how do you find your place in the world as an artist? Like their show was talking about tango and the dance of love, and the ups and downs of like heartbreak and love and life and lessons through mime. So no words, through physical, through dance and miming and like the body. Because they were from Italy, I think, or something. And they didn't speak English. So it wasn't through voice. It was through dance and through movement. It was brilliant. And mine's like this deep moving story. And I'm like, since when, like, does getting hit with a paintball get 5 stars? And then, people who pour their whole life into their craft get 3. So maybe I'll be in better spirits tomorrow, but these are all the things that I'm pondering tonight.
Yeah.
Don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but that's where I'm at in my diary. This is what I'll be journaling, and this is what I'll be writing, and here I'm just saying it. So yeah, if you have any advice or love or goodness that you want to send my way.
Everybody's quiet because it's probably like between 2 in the afternoon and 5 at night right now.
That's all right.
So
they're watching.
Everybody's watching.
6 people are here. I don't know who you are, but you're here. I don't see you on my screen, but anyway,
it's midnight, past midnight.
It's midnight here. That's the other hard part too. Late shows this week. Yeah. Oliver's up late. We're out late. We're like pulling a hard schedule. Back again tomorrow.
Yep.
At 19. Hi, Kevin Neighbors. How are you, buddy? Love you. Thanks for the heart. We're back at it again tomorrow for show number 5. And I'm solid.
Yep.
I'm solid. I'm giving a solid.
Wish us luck.
I'm giving a solid performance. Hey, Pam. Yeah, you'll have to go back and check it out. Tonight was the most dumpster fires of all dumpster fires. But my performance was solid, and the audience was happy, and I did good work, and the show mattered.
That's what it's about.
I'm gonna leave it on a high with that I'm still solid, and I guess if I can make it through this, then
send us positive juju.
Hopefully I have a good night's sleep, and tomorrow's another day. All right, guys. Sending you love, and we'll probably be back same time, hopefully earlier. Everything got pushed late because we were started late, and the whole thing's late. And
we'll be deciding earlier. If we do a live before we make dinner or after we eat.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thus is the creative journey.
Bye.
Here we are.